Ryan, welcome to Walsall Football Club, joining us on loan from Blackpool. How happy are you to be here?
Yeah, buzzing. Yeah, really excited to finally get it done. It's something that I wanted to get done probably a bit earlier than now, but with different circumstances and the way football is, it took a while, but thankfully I'm here and I'm really excited to get going.
What have your conversations been like with head coach Matt Sadler, and how does he see you fitting into his plans?
Yeah, I've spoke to him a few times previous to obviously coming here, and he's always come across really well. He's someone who I'd really kind of want to play for, someone that's really in detail, likes to develop younger players as well. And the conversations I've had, I was just like, look, sounds perfect to me and something that I want to be a part of.
So you're obviously a midfield player, but for Sadler's fans who may not know an awful lot about you, what's your sort of style and what will you bring to the table?
Yeah, I've played in nearly every role in midfield. It's that sort of versatility that I think can help me. But someone who wants to get on the ball, dominate games, isn't afraid to put a foot in, and also cover ground and be that sort of physical threat as well. So.
You started your career at Southampton, didn't you? And obviously that's a very famous academy. Some really great players have come through there. So, what was your time like there, and what did you learn coming through their academy?
No, it was amazing. I think anyone that goes through that sort of academy is always going to end up in a good place, and I've had so many memories there that I'm really grateful for. And it's always been on developing, make yourself a better player every day. And I've learnt a lot. And I left them obviously a year and a half ago now, which is quite weird in itself whenever you leave somewhere that you've always been, and joined Blackpool. But yeah, I loved every bit of it there, and have fond memories.
You obviously got the opportunity to play a senior game for them as well in the FA Cup against Shrewsbury at St Mary's. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was obviously brilliant. Something that I joined Southampton at the age of 7, and every young lad's aspiration is to play for the first team, and I was grateful that I got the opportunity. The only downside was that it was COVID at the time, and there was no one there, which kind of not killed the feeling, but it wasn't the same. But no, I had a great time there and learnt a lot from being around the first team.
You know a little bit about League Two as well, don't you? Had a spell at Crewe a few years ago. How important was that for you in your development?
Yeah, it was brilliant. That was my first real taste of men's football. Coming from Southampton, it was a bit of a culture shock in terms of that it's demand to win every week, and I loved it. To be fair, it was a great time in my career, and it was the first real opportunity that I got to express myself.
And of course, you played in the level above in League One. Pretty spell with Shrewsbury before your 18 months at Blackpool. Particularly last season looked like a decent one for you. Scored a few goals. So, how have you found life in League One in the past 18 months or 2 years?
Yeah, again, I've learnt a lot. I've had to learn a lot about myself, but also football. I obviously suffered a long-term injury, which was difficult, and then last season with a new manager and a new sort of vision, it was difficult at times. But I always just tried to carry on going. And the opportunities I did get, whether they were few or for whatever reason, I felt like I gave it a good go and it was comfortable. So
it sounds like not only have you learned a lot, but it sounds like you've developed characteristics, not just physically but mentally as well.
Yeah, 100%. That was obviously being from Bournemouth and going to Blackpool. It's a long way. So that in itself is a new thing. I had to grow up, be a man. But just also I was so driven to try and make it happen, and that's partly the reason I've come here, is to prove myself and prove other people wrong that I've still got it and can play higher.
Yeah, it looks like you've got some personal ambitions there, as you just said, but have you got any other aspirations for your time here?
No, for me it's just, I've had many conversations with the manager here, and he was just like, you need to enjoy it again. There's no better feeling than playing every week and being part of something which I haven't felt like for a while. So for me, the main aspiration is to firstly try and get in this team. It's obviously a very good squad, and when the team's winning, it's going to be difficult to break into, but I'm confident that will happen. And once that happens, just trying to enjoy it and play as many games with a smile on my face.